everyone. Today we will be determining missing side using the cosine ratio. So I put here CAH as an acronym CAH. This means its cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse because this is the formula to find for cosine theta, that is adjacent side over hypotenuse. I will put the link of the video that talks about missing angle. Again, this video is on missing side. I will put the link of the video of that talks about the missing angle. And we have cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. I will put the link of the video that talks about how to find an adjacent side, how to find an hypotenuse side, or how to find an opposite side of a right triangle in the description box below. So, we jump into this example right here. So first up, we always remember that if we deal with this kind of problems here, be sure that your calculator is set to degree. So if you are using the blue calculator, you can check if it's in degree. If you press the DRG here, the degree is the one that's highlighted. And if you are using the yellow calculator to check if it's in degree, you go ahead and hit mode, and then it should be degree that is highlighted. Now, if you use a different calculator other than these two, if you get an answer different from the one over here, be sure you check the setting of the calculator. It has to be in degree. Okay, so we start with this problem over here. So we're given an angle 49, and then the first thing that we need to do is to label these two parts here. Are this adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse? Because from there we can go ahead and plug it into the equation. So that since this is 49, adjacent is next to it, which is the x. So I'm gonna label this as adjacent. And then this 25 is across the 90 degrees, so I'm going to label this as the hypotenuse. So then we can use adjacent over hypotenuse. So to set up the equation, this would be cosine of 49. So cosine 49 is equal to the adjacent is x over the hypotenuse is 25. Now, please remember, I mentioned this in the previous video, this cosine 49 has an invisible denominator of 1. And then from here, we can cross multiply these two. So cosine 49 and 1 and x shall be cross multiplied together. So 1 times x is just x. I'm going to write that down over here. So x is equal to 25. Write the constant first, 25, and then cosine of 49. And then again, we use the calculator. Be sure that it's set up in degrees. So that would be 25 cosine 49, close the parentheses, and that is 16.40. So the answer that we have here, x is 16.40. So this is our this is the length of side x, 16.40. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, we go over this problem here. So we have the x first. Again, the x, we label the parts first. So this is our adjacent because it's next to it. And then the opposite of the 90 degree is the hypotenuse. So I labeled both of them. So we're going to use the CAH, the cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. So then I can set up the equation here. That is cosine of 37 degrees is equal to adjacent. So the adjacent side is x over the hypotenuse is 15. And then again, this one has an invisible denominator of 1. They are in broken line just to give us a hint that they come invisible. It's not written in there, but it's actually invisible. So we cross multiply. So we are left with x is 1 times x is just x, and that is equals to 15 times cosine of 37. And then we use calculator for this. This should be 11.98. So the length of x here is 11.98. Did you get the same answers as this? Good. Perfect. Let's move on to the next one over here. So we have this triangle. So we are given 27 degrees and we have a 15 on x. Again, it's the same thing as what we did in the previous problems. We're going to label them. The 15 here is the adjacent. And then the x here is the hypotenuse. Okay, so then we set it up again. We set up the equation. So that would be cosine of 27 is equal to, that is adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent now is 15 and the hypotenuse is x. So it's pretty much a little different from the other one, from the first two problems, because the x now is at the denominator. This is over invisible 1. And so this time I'm going to cross multiply these two. So we are getting x cosine 27 equals 1 times 15 is just 15. And so from here we want the x by itself. So we're going to be dividing both sides by cosine 27. I divide this by cosine 27. So I cross the cosine 27 out and those two cosine 27. So if we use the calculator, so let me show you what we got on this. So that is 15 divided by cosine 27 is 16.83. So this one right here is 16.83. So that is the length of the hypotenuse. Okay. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, we go over this. Again, the first step is to label the parts so we know which of those sine, cosine, or tangent that we're going to use. So this one right here, the 30 is the adjacent. And then the x here is the hypotenuse. And so we're going to use the cosine. So cosine of 18 degrees is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So that is 30 over x. And then there is an invisible denominator of cosine 18, which is 1. And then we cross multiply these two. So that would come out x cosine. Oops, I'm going to use this color pen over here. So that's x cosine of 18 is equal to 1 times 30 is just 30. And so I am going to divide both sides by cosine 18. Divide this by cosine of 18. So I cross this out. So I am left with x using the calculator. This should be 31.54. Did you get 31.54? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!